It's the community development segment here on Breakfast Daily, and the show is this segment is interactive. The show is actually interactive. You can use the hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to hear what you're thinking. We're going to go over to Dawhenya now. In the last few days, there's been a bit of a challenge. Some flooding has taken place over there. We have a report for you. Now, we want especially those who live within that enclave to get in touch with us and let us know exactly what it is that's going on there. The WhatsApp line is 0204 447 033. That's 0204 447 033. If you have any friends or family that live in that area and you're watching us and you have first-hand accounts of what has been happening there or what is currently happening there, do send us a WhatsApp message. Let's know what's going on. We have a report by our colleague Fauzu Masaudu. So let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and then we'll delve into some conversations.
Now, imagine waking up to an inundation by floodwaters of your homes. Well, you'd have to stop imagining this if you live here at Adankope in the Dawhenya community, because this has become a hard reality. The spillage of excess water from the Dawhenya irrigation dam has birthed a biggest brunt to residents here. Now, before we get to the heart of the matter, let's put this conversation really into perspective. The Dawhenya irrigation dam covers a land area of over 7,000 acres. It is bounded in the north by the Equiapem Mountains, which extends to the northeast to southwest, and in the south of the Accra-Aflao Road. In the east, it shares boundaries with the Volta Basin, and in the west with the Densu Basin, with the two catchments lying within Accra Plains. Now, this dam, which is believed to have been constructed with the sole aim of producing vegetables for people in the Accra and the Tema metropolitan areas, has today become a hard nut for a lot of residents in Dawhenya to crack, owing to its overflow. And a lot of residents, including this man, is not spared of the brunt.
Vincent Bejo.
Vincent Bejo, I see you are carrying some, some pans and what have you, knife, and I mean, just basically cooking utensils. Is that where you live?
I had a baby. And there 3 days now, and so now they may buy me join a more friends and so now Abba. Now me Baba Shana and Passon Sono, Ayuro.
Into 3 days, no me fear.
But you're there.
It's in then I'll buy no one so be bia.
I am so.
You live here. Yes. Has the water, emptied the house?
No, it has not entered the house before, but this is the first time.
This is the first time it's happened?
Yes.
So how has it cost you? What have you, lost?
We lost a lot of things, even most of our clothes and all those things. Even our wardrobes, they have spoiled and all those things. A lot. Even our kitchen, a lot have spoiled. So even now, my sister is going to hotel to go and sleep. You can't sleep in the house. So we have been using the pumping machine to pump out the water so that we can be there. Luckily, it's just that because it's a story building, so the flood, we don't understand where the water is coming from. Maybe someone opens somewhere, I don't know.
The water seems to have covered a very big portion of the land over here. Interestingly, I see a for sale inscription in the middle somewhere of the flood. I do not know what exactly is for sale, but one would be forced to believe it's a part of the land that is for sale. Maybe I would have to quickly engage one of the residents here. I see a for sale inscription, buried somewhere in the floodwater. What are they selling?
The land.
The land.
This portion.
Okay.
This portion. Okay. Yeah.
So they are selling a portion of this land.
Yeah, but they haven't they haven't get anyone to buy it because maybe where this building is their chair. Is their chair. So because of the flooding, no one came to stay inside. Apart from those who did not get anywhere to stay, they need to lodge for a while.
In your shot currently is an effort by a rescue mission made up of residents in the area, saving a woman and 3 children who have been trapped in their homes, submerged by the flood waters. So this is one of the safe havens, and we understand it's housing a number of the affected residents. I'll try and speak to some of them. Hello, good evening. How long have you been here?
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday. How is living here?
Well, it feels like you are living in a camp because we don't even have clothes. Like I, for instance, I couldn't go to work. Yesterday I didn't go to work. Today too I didn't go to work because I didn't bring anything. This was the only clothes I brought. And the only valuable I could take was my certificate and passport. I didn't take anything else.
This is obviously a heart-wrenching situation, an impact that is simply inexplicable. And the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pampram, Sam George, says it could have been averted.
Who do we hold responsible for that? Building in the middle of a water body. In fact, in the stream, we saw the for sale, land for sale sign in the stream. I mean, if we are so indisciplined as a people, we bring some of these things. Look at where we are standing right now, this very location. An individual chooses to build a hotel. And because he's building a hotel, the runway for water, the natural stream, path of the stream into the lagoon, into the sea, he has blocked it and put a 3-inch culvert, which is woeful and inadequate. And that is what has created some kind of dam here and pushed the water back. So one individual. So you ask yourself, what's the assembly doing?
A lot of residents, have been displaced. The floodwaters have claimed a lot of livelihoods. But in the face of all these adversities, how well do we find respite for these affected persons? The answers laid with the National Disaster Management Organization.
Immediately, we took out electricity because of the levels of the water. Locally, we have most of our sockets on the ground floor of our buildings. So we had to take out electricity to prevent electrocution. And then also we are assessing and then registering the affected persons and then placing them in safe places. And then from there, based on the needs assessment, we know what provisions to make for them.
The spillage of the Dawhenya irrigation dam has dealt a big blow to residents here in the Dawhenya community, and all they want now is a relief, but most importantly, pragmatic measures to prevent its recurrence.
All right, so there you have it. The area that was previously set aside, some parts of it are wetlands, some parts of it were supposed to be for rice cultivation and all that. We've done what we usually do. We've allowed people to build in spaces, and I really find it irritating when people say that. So when you were going to buy land, did you not know that that place was a wetland and you should not buy land there? I'm not sure that the onus is supposed to be on the buyer. If it's available for sale, we will buy it because it's available and it's affordable. But if it's not available for sale, it's not available for sale. We've entrusted property, land, the wealth of this nation into people's hands. And they are misbehaving with it. Sam George was saying, that somebody has built a hotel in a waterway. It's like the chaos.
Must it take Sam George to come and say this? Do we not know that people are building on waterways? Did we some time ago not have the regional minister go to the Sakumono Ramsar site to go mark certain structures for demolition? What happened to that? He broke some wall down, and then
the whole thing
was suspended. You know, so it should tell you that which people are building in these areas. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I'm a common law member like me. I won't even have the courage to say that this is a wetland. I'm going to lobby and get to buy the land and own it.
Yeah.
The people who matter, people who are supposed to be making decisions, they are the ones doing that. Is why nothing is happening. David, if you go and build it, they'll come and break it.
Of course.
But why do we have certain structures standing? You see, and the point is, look, some of these conversations should not be her through any political lenses.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with NDC, it has nothing to do with NPP. It's got everything to do with Ghana.
Yeah.
You know, and we are all sitting down and doing MPP, NDC, and the country is where it is. We keep running around in circles. So NPP will come, they do whatever they think is good for them. NDC will come, they do the same thing. Look, some of these conversations, I don't even want to listen to what politicians are saying because depending on where they sit today, it is wrong. The next time they are in power, we'll be experiencing these same things. Do we not have the same problem every year, going round and round and round and round about it? Look, my worry in this country is, we talk of, and Kwame Nkrumah did this how many years ago?
Yeah.
I agree with whatever is happening now that yes. So these kind of areas were reserved for farming. But in today's Ghana, practically, realistically, can we still leave it at that? Okay, should we be in a situation where we are now relocating, let's say, state farms to the outskirts, you know, of towns, proper urban centers? Yes. But my what I don't understand is, why are we allowing people to come and build in these areas, but we are not paying attention to the engineering work surrounding these areas?
Yeah.
Okay, if you agree that, okay, now population is rising, we cannot still have huge reserves of lands in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
So let's say we are relocating all state farms to the outskirts.
Yeah. Which
now,
is fine.
If we are allowing people to come and build, have we also factored in all the measures that we put in place to make it a farmland? Because it will be different from now it is a residential area. We want to give people the room to now go and build, but we are not also factoring and taking care of the works that would go into making it ideal for people to live there. So people are building, it is still the waterway, it is still in the dams way, it's still the soil that's supposed to be for rice, and so you know that if you put a structure there, when it rains, it will flood. I mean, when sachet water even drops, it will flood. Why are we not paying attention to the engineering of these areas?
Yeah.
And that is what we have. So we still live in the 21st century. Then we say that, oh, so we are opening the Dawhenya Dam, people move. To where? We are opening the Bagre Dam, people move. To where? Now the water is spilling. The Dawhenya Dam, nobody controls it. When it hits a certain level, it spills by itself.
Yeah.
We know people live there.
Yeah.
If it's something that nothing can be done, people shouldn't live there. So we do this, and then we come back and raise huge monies that we don't have into relief.
Yeah.
And they will go back to this area.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
next year, we will come back,
Same
relief.
thing.
Are we serious?
Yeah. Well, we have a resident who was affected, has been affected. Stephen Adote is on the line. Good morning, Stephen. Hello, Stephen.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So can you paint a picture for us when it started, the water started rising, what it looks like now, what your situation is? Are you home? Have you moved out of home? What's going on?
Okay. All right. Thank you. I just want to greet your listeners and those who are watching us. Actually, it all started Monday, this very Monday in the morning, around 6:20. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we wake up in the morning, all the place was dried. Around 6 to 6:20, all of a sudden, the water began to rush, unexpected, without no rain.
Wow.
Without no rain, and the place began to flood because the way it happens, normally at where I am, Ososhin, Dawhenya,
Yeah.
when it's flooding, it comes a little, but it doesn't flood around areas that you can have a path to walk on.
Okay.
You can have a place that you can walk on.
Okay.
But this time it's too much, and the way it came very heavy,
Okay.
rushing.
Okay.
So within less than 2 hours, the whole community
Okay.
was flooded.
All right. Now, Stephen, for those who don't live in that area, who don't have any idea what you're talking about, if you're driving from Tema towards Aflao, which side of the road has been flooded?
from the Dawhenya Afenya junction.
Okay.
From that stretch to the immigration.
So that's on the left side of the road?
Yes, please.
Okay. That whole area. Does it come to the main N1? Does it come to the main road?
Yeah. Some part came to the main road.
Some part came onto the main road as well?
Yeah, main road. So people have to stand beside of where the gutter is so that the drivers could identify where the road is. Because if you are not careful, you might fall into the gutter.
Okay. So the N1 was also in danger?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
No, this is giving us a better picture of what was actually going on there. All right. So since Monday, when the water started rising and everything else, has it gone down at all? Is it still rising? Has it stayed the same? What was the situation?
Okay, it was yesterday before it started going down.
Okay.
But this morning it has really gone down totally. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
So it was yesterday we started packing our things, those ones that are spoiled, and we are differentiating them.
Yeah.
But we are not able to finish. So this morning we are still continuing, arranging things.
All right. So, Stephen, now let me ask you, in terms of the governmental institutions, NADMO, etc., has anybody come around? Have you seen any?
Yes. It was NADMO that came.
Okay.
They came here on that very day.
Okay.
And I think the following day they came here with Honorable Sam George.
Okay.
They came around to check what is going on, and how the people have been affected, and trying to help them with that. So they went to Adankope.
Okay.
Also, to check the people. So the NADMO people came. They took some details about us and all this stuff.
Okay. Did they bring you any items? Have you seen any items?
No.
Okay.
Not bring any items at all.
All right. Stephen, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. So we were speaking with Stephen Adote. He is a resident of Dawhenya and was also affected by the flooding that took place there. Yeah, so this is where we find ourselves. Now, I have always had a problem with the rhetoric that says you can't build in waterways. I've had a problem with it. Let me explain why. Back in the 1960s, there were countries like the Netherlands that would go into the sea and go and reclaim land from the sea.
Yeah.
And build high-rise buildings on land that they have reclaimed from the sea. We have land that water passes through. We don't have any intelligent engineering designs that we can build managing the water. The water still can go. We don't block the waterway. You see, the logic or for me, the science of it, engineering, is that you can't block the waterway, but you can build in the waterway. Let me explain. You see Kolebu. When you go to Kolebu, there are some old flats that are built on stilts. You know why they designed them like that? Because back in the day, they said to themselves that, look, if the sea ever rises and it spills towards us, because Kolebu and Kolegona are not that far. If it ever rises and it comes in, we don't want flooding. So let's elevate the buildings, right? And so they raise the buildings on stilts. So you can actually literally walk underneath those buildings.
But David, you shouldn't go far. I mean, people in Inzulezo live in the water. Yeah. So that's why I made my earlier submission that, look, if we are deciding that our population is rising, so we can't leave certain lands fallow, we need to occupy these lands. Can we not also look at the engineering to say that if we want to build in these areas, we cannot build like the ordinary. That's my whole submission. That, okay, if we want to say that, okay, so the Dawhenya area was of like 900 and something acres, you know, for farming and all that. Today, the population in Greater Accra, we can still live 900 acres in the middle of town, you know, for farming. All well and good. But if we decide to build houses, why are we still building like we will come and build at Achimota?
Yeah.
Why are we still building like we will build at Tesano? That is what I don't understand. When we decided that, okay, we will build in the water, why are we doing it like it's dry grounds? That is what is beating my whole understanding.
Because because the people who should be managing our spaces are criminal, they are negligent, they are greedy, they don't care, and this is where we find ourselves.
No, because you see, we can't wake up and a situation like this, because water was spilled by itself and you don't know at what point it's coming. This is why we have to take some of these things seriously. So we all close from work. You know, maybe if we were doing 24-hour economy, some people would have been at work around that time. I'm trying to make sense of the whole thing, you know, because we will all close and then go to our homes. At dawn, this is what residents wake up to.
No, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Well, we have a rep from NADMO joining us on the line, Mr. Yate. Mr. Amo Yate, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
All right, so give us paint a picture for us. What's the situation in Dawhenya right now, and what's the relief effort and interventions that NADBO is bringing to the residents of the community?
Yeah, as I speak to you now, we are on our way to Dawhenya. After needs assessment of the affected persons has been completed, so we have some relief that is sending to the people who have been affected by the roadside floods in Dawhenya. We are sending food and food items, because we're also looking at the situation of malaria control, so we are sending some mosquito nets. Yeah, so we are on our way to provide relief items for that purpose.
All right. Are you evacuating people to dry areas as well?
Yeah, people who are affected are already in dry areas. Water levels are receding.
Okay.
Family and friends are taking the lead, so we are here to support them so that they continue to have a life of dignity.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for that, and we wish you all the best in your efforts to bring relief. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. So that was Mr. Richard Amo Iyate. There, because the waters are receding, the intervention that they are bringing to them is to just give them some relief items to allow them to continue to live in dignity, is the term that he used there. And so I don't know if you have any comment on this one.
Look, my whole thing is some of these issues are very artificial. We don't have to look. I always say that if we wake up one day to a very serious natural disaster, but in 24 hours there won't be Ghana. Honestly, you know, because some of these things we should prepare. David, we sit here. Every year we are opening Bagre Dam. Every year we are opening Weja Dam. Now we know that the Dawhenya Dam will also be spilling on its own. We will sit down next year. We'll come back and talk about this whole thing. That is what I do not comprehend. It's unfathomable. You know, incomprehensible. That we know the thing will happen, but still
we won't do anything to prevent it from happening.
And the resources that we do not have, NADMO is not well resourced to take care of all these. We've seen the aftermath of the Akosombo Dam spillage. We are not even done dealing with that. This has also come. Other ones will also come. And then we have politicians come to tell us that move. And they just use microphones to say that move. Do you understand the seriousness of the whole thing? It goes beyond you going to stand somewhere and say move.
We told them to move. And they were disobedient. They were recalcitrant, and they didn't move.
Are you telling them to move, or you are helping them to move? because they should move somewhere. Look, even those who say they are okay, you live in your own house, a beautiful place. If there's a natural disaster today and you are given like 24 hours or 3 days to move, you ask yourself, to where?
Yeah.
You that you probably have another house somewhere. It would take time for you to even gather yourself and move. Yesterday we spoke to, I think on CNR, a lady spoke. He said, the only thing I could take was my certificate and my, passport. Everything else, I left it because your life first. But why do we have to subject people to this?
Yeah. You know, and when we say these things, it's not, you know, the point is, taxpayers' money, yours and mine, is used to pay. We choose people to manage our systems, and we use our money to pay them to make sure that everybody will collect small for everybody, taxes, so that a few people can manage. My frustration is that if you can't manage, get out of there and let's find people who can manage. Yeah, but don't sit there and chop my money and not do the work you're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be selling land to certain people. You are selling it. Engineering, we're supposed to make sure that houses are built in a certain way. We won't supervise. We won't make sure it's built in a certain way. They say, oh, the people, they are difficult. Why are the courts there? Why is that there? Why do we have police?
But you are even more difficult. You that you are sitting down.
I don't understand it.
Look, so David,
I am not getting the point.
Well, all of us, we are all confused. Because my point is, look, if we think we don't have what it takes, okay, to allow people live in that area. Let's not allow people. If we can't have the engineering to make sure that people are building Atlantis, you know, people in Zulezu, they have been able to mount still.
And they've been doing for years, they've been living there.
But my point is, if we know we don't have the engineering works for people to come and live in water areas, and then one day, because somebody wants to go and live there and make money because their businesses are there, all of us should suffer for it. Why must it be so? That prevent people from doing the wrong thing.
You want to talk to Honorable?
So we've been joined by the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Ningo Prampram area, Sam Nate George. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
Well, I can understand your frustration, and I listened to you on Eyewitness News, and I also saw you in CNR explaining what is going on. But what is the situation this morning in Dawhenya?
Well, the water has started because yesterday we got a team. I got the assemblyman for the Lalbeko area to move in with an excavator and break up the road that the individual had constructed across the street. Because the lagoon feeds into sea, and an individual had built a hotel and then blocked the stream to create a road to his hotel. And so the water couldn't go into the sea. So yesterday we got excavated, broke it up, and now the water is flowing. This morning, NADMO has just gotten into the constituency with some relief material. We are receiving them and working out the modalities for distribution. I'm also putting together some material that will come in later this week. And then we try to alleviate the plight of our constituent at this point in time.
Right, Honorable, do we know how long this hotel has been standing?
Sorry?
Do we know how long the hotel has been in this area? The new hotel on that waterway? Is it a new hotel?
Yes, the hotel itself is not on a waterway. What they have done is to
create a road.
And create a road through the lagoon to the hotel. And I hear this happened about within the last year, sometime this year, earlier this year.
And this is
that was my frustration with local authorities, the district assembly. Because that is the job of the district assembly. The DC must be on his feet and ensure that such things do not happen. Because people cannot just wake up and construct roads anyhow. Talk less of constructing a road through a water body.
Yeah. All right. So from all evidence, it seems as if this is singularly the reason that has caused the water from accessing the sea and therefore creating the flooding?
Two things created this.
Okay.
First is the fact that in the irrigation dam itself, the Dawhenya irrigation dam, the immediate past team manager is alleged to have sold the reservoir for one of the streams that brings water from Sahel. He sold the reservoir where excess water sits. When the water levels go up, he sold that reservoir to the Chinese and Indians, and they filled it up with lava and have started constructing what appears to be warehouses there. And so when the water came from the Sahel, normally it's supposed to sit in the irrigation site and then sit gradually into town through the lagoon into the sea. So you have a situation where that reservoir has been blocked, and so the full volume of water is going into town, and then downstream you also have this individual who's blocked the stream, the lagoon from entering the sea.
Yeah.
So then the people caught between the dam and the sea, bear the brunt of the water.
Okay. Okay.
But what have you pegged from your engagement with the assembly? That's if you've been able to speak with them. Are we going to leave things the way they are? Are we going to have to break things down so the larger society would not suffer?
Well, I've spoken to the DP was with me on my tour 2 days ago, on Tuesday, and I pointed out to him. He claimed that they didn't give the permit, and I said, well, you have the power. You have the power to right this wrong, to fix it, get it done. Because, look, one of the houses where we stayed, a woman and her 3 children who are not eating or drunk water for 48 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
In front of that, that building is sitting in the middle of the stream. Clearly tell. And in front of it, in the water, was a sign that said land for sale.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody is selling the street and people are going to buy and build. I mean, we can't keep doing things like this and expect a different result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Local authority has to work.
Yeah.
Everybody's calling the MP now. Where's the MP? What can the MP do? Nobody comes to the MP for permit. The MP doesn't control. The district engineer does not report to the MP.
Yeah.
Nobody in the district reports to the MP. The MP is merely an ex-official member of the district. There's a reason why the Constitution and our local government laws put those powers in the hands of the assembly, led by the DC. People must end their salaries.
Yep. Yep.
Now, a quick one, Honorable. You know, now population is rising. We keep recording new numbers. Would you say that we should just leave these areas entirely? Nobody should be able to build? Or in 21st century, there's so much technology available in terms of engineering. If people have to build, they have to change the engineering. They cannot be building like they would in Achimota, in Tesano, where we have heavily dry grounds. We don't have any dams around and all that. Should we begin to consider maybe building differently, but people can go live in such areas? Or it's a situation of nobody should even be allowed, regardless of what the engineering of your building will be. Nobody should be allowed to put any structure in this area.
So there's 2 things. When we went around with the NAGMO official, they kept saying, look, these are all water bodies. Because you see, there are certain growth, plant growth, that you can tell. Once you see, you know, that this grows by a river, this grows by a lagoon. And so once you see plants in that area, you know that this place is a water body, is a water reservoir, is a buffer. But people are selling them. Now, especially in Greater Accra, where the land belongs to families. And so people buy from the families, and there is no requirement to go to the assembly before you purchase the land. The requirement is for you to go to the assembly after you have purchased the land. That in itself is a problem. So people buy the land and only go to the assembly for permits after they have got the land. Now the second thing is how our engineering departments are structured to work. I have a friend in London who was living in one of those buildings that's called a listed building in the UK. The windows were single glazed, and so during winter, their heating bill fine for fixing a double glazed window, which cost them $4,000. They got a £10,000 fine. They were asked to pay the $4,000 again to remove the window and now apply to the city council.
Yeah.
So my friend spent £4,000 installing, had to pay another £4,000 to take off, and pay £10,000
as a fine.
So it means that even your building plan, before you make any change to an existing building, must be approved by the assembly or the city council.
Yeah.
Now, one of the houses we went to, very close to where we did the rescue. I told the owner of the house, you have a beautiful house, but I can assure you, in the next 5 to 10 years, the house is going to collapse. Because they built very close to the water body. Clearly, they should have used this material called damp-proof material. It's very expensive. But normally, when you're building in areas that are waterlogged, you put layers of this damp-proof material in your foundation, which acts as a way of protecting the foundation and the structure itself.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive, most people don't want to spend that money.
Yeah.
And so this guy's house, fine house, with tiles in the compound and everywhere, when you enter his living room, water was coming out from the tile, from inside the tile, from the foundation. So clearly, the foundation of that building is compromised because they have not put in place the right engineering measure. Are you going to leave citizens with a responsibility to do what is right? Or are you going to impose that responsibility on local authorities to enforce and ensure that the right building technology is used if you are building a certain area? That is what we need to deal with as a country. And this must come from central government. It can't be a district assembly issue. There must be a proper building code for this country. If you are building in an area that is 100 meters or 100 feet to your water body, this is what you must do. These are the requirements you must meet. They must be approved by the district engineer or municipal engineer. They must be listed at different levels of construction to ensure compliance.
Yeah.
Honorable Sam George, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. Really appreciate your time and your very apt suggestions as well. So that was Honorable Sam George. He's the MP for Ningo Pram. I think we've said a lot of things.
Yeah.
You said, I've said, Sam George has said, and it's basically around the same thing. There are leaders that we have chosen. We pay them with our taxes. They need to do the jobs that they've been assigned to do. And if they can't do, we need to get rid of them. That's as simple as that. There's no argument with this situation. All right. We cannot keep going around in circles pretending to do what we're supposed to do, and yet it's not being done. Because you see, the problem happens, and this is the exposure that we're getting. Somebody apparently has sold a reservoir, a ground reservoir that's supposed to take excess water from the Shire Hills flow. And so it's been filled with laterite and whatever else, and it's being repurposed. So the water comes and has nowhere to go and be stored. Then on the other end of it, a road has been built and it's blocked the natural lagoon flow into the sea.
But if you know one thing that beats my understanding, the fact that, so Sam George raised the point that the former dam manager or scheme manager sold the reservoir. Can an individual, get up? You have a certain tenure that you have to be there. What are the existing laws governing the operations of these state institutions? Do you get it? Most of these institutions have boards. They have this, they have that. Can one person decide that in my term, I'm selling this, I'm selling that, I'm selling that? So Benadavla gets up to say that me that I'm general manager for this period, no, I'm selling transformer, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. Whoever comes, shouldn't we have,
systems
in place that somebody cannot,
individual.
because you ask yourself, so who orders the Auditor General?
Yeah.
So this person, who is his boss? How come the person can come and so somebody comes up and say that I have decided to sell part of Achimota Forest, I've willed it to my family. So somebody comes, okay, I'm selling part of VRA. Somebody comes, I'm selling really?
But that's the Ghana that we've created.
That is what I am asking. Do you get it?
A cabal of thieves.
So if we do not have other people complicit in this, sometimes one person cannot just get up and do that. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say, that it probably goes beyond the scheme manager, because the one person cannot get up and say that.
And people are signing and benefiting.
When the person who bought it also took that documents or receipts to Lands Commission, did somebody also not see that this is not an area that you should go? So anyway, maybe this is how we want to lead our lives.
I don't know what you think. 0204-447-033 is our WhatsApp line for the show. You can send us a message. Let us know what your thoughts are.